Good day to all you mamas out there. I'm back with you this week talking about the wood element personality type, um, and how the wood personality relates to clutter when wood goes out of balance. Um, Later on in the week, I'll be talking about how those wood imbalances show up in the body, as well as times in your life where you might want to work on the wood element areas in your home. So let's jump into it. So the wood personality people, they're the doers, they're the visionaries, they're the seers, they're great entrepreneurs. They're amazing at, planning and planting the seeds and coming up with new ideas. And this is the part of being an entrepreneur that entrepreneurs often love. And what they often don't love is dealing with the finite details of completing projects. So they may be really good at starting many projects and going kind of from one thing to another. But they're very hard workers and they work really well under pressure. And they have a lot of drive. And, you can think of different types of people in your life. Like think of not just entrepreneurs, but like the super mom, the mom who's always doing and going, and has a hard time stopping and slowing down. I also know somebody who's an entrepreneur, and she always says like she just loves the content, loves creating content, loves coming up with new programs, new ideas, and it's such a struggle for her to sometimes follow them all the way through and deal with kind of the more business side of being an entrepreneur. And that doesn't mean that, a wood person can't do these things. It just means they don't like it a lot of the time, unless they have that other metal element kind of in their personality, which is always possible. So where this shows up with clutter may be in that constant need to plant seeds and kind of just, the desire to keep going, to keep moving forward, can end up meaning that the wood person just kind of leaves the mess behind them. They may be really good at fixing something or solving a problem, but there's always something to clean up and to a chapter to close sometimes before you just start a whole new one. And that's where it becomes challenging, is if you have too many seeds planted but you haven't closed a chapter on any of those seeds, then they just start to pile up. I can think of even my husband, like how he, I always have him fix things around the home, and he'll be all about the fixing and fixing that piece of furniture or drilling that hole in the wall, but then like all the tools will just be kind of left out. And I often come and put those things away, or I might have to say something, hey honey, can you, depending on the situation. So that's what it could look like with ideas, right? Like so the clutter can build up kind of similar to the water person with, stacks of projects or stacks of books. Where it's different is all those stacks have a seed, right? For the wood person, they are significant because they have that idea in them that is really hard to let go, even though they have so many ideas bubbling all at the same time. And for the wood person, there's a lot of pride in doing, and so it may be difficult for the wood person to ask for help because they're also very independent and they have a strong will, and they don't like any kind of authority. They don't like somebody coming in and telling them what they should be doing. So as always, it's really important to approach this with sensitivity, right? So a wood person may need a team. If this is a wood person running the business, they may need a team, and they may need somebody to support them by helping them figure out, is this a seed that we actually want to follow through with. And they can kind of try to collaborate as opposed to coming down on the person and saying, hey, we need to get rid of all this stuff. It can be approached, as a supportive effort, as a team effort, where maybe it's a collaboration. So, sometimes we all do need a little bit of help, and that's okay. That is okay. But we want to honor the wood person's major strength in coming up with all these amazing ideas. So it's, it's something to obviously appreciate. But what can happen is the wood person can kind of go into this crisis mode because they're doing. Maybe they're going from this project to this phone call, connecting people and being also really adventurous. It can kind of have this component of ADHD, right? Where yes, it's like, oh, I'm here now, now is now. And this is what I'm doing right now. And then there comes a certain point where it's becomes so overwhelming that the wood person who loves being decisive can actually become indecisive and feel a little bit of shame around this mess that's been created around them, right? And feel like they want to hide out or find themselves not able to move forward in the way that they actually get such pleasure from. So that may be a time when the wood person finds that the clutter is impeding on them, right? We can all have clutter, and sometimes we can function well, with stuff around us because we know what that stuff means. And then there are times where it starts to take over. And that's what we're talking about, right? When it starts to show up in your personal chi, in your feeling about yourself, and your feeling about your environment. That's when it becomes an imposition in your life. And so that's what we're talking about here. So what can the wood person do to gently support themselves through a Feng Shui perspective, right? Of course, we can call upon help from our metal people and from our water people and from our earth people and from our fire people. Like we can always call upon help. But one simple thing that you could do that's a Feng Shui adjustment, as I mentioned in the post about metal personality, is to get a sun moon mirror. And this is basically a mirror that has been exposed by sunlight for 24 hours and exposed to moonlight for 24 hours. And you would place that sun moon mirror in the new beginnings gua of your bed, or you could call it the family area. So if you laid the bagua on your bed, that would be on the far left side, the middle side edge of your bed on the left. And you could place that mirror, under your mattress, and that would be a way of just reflecting back to you in a gentle way, how you can restore more balance in your wood chi, okay? Another thing that you can do if you struggle with this, going from one thing to the other and not able to close the door on a project, you could get a black metal pinwheel. So the color black represents water. The water element supports the growth of wood, so it's very nourishing to the wood. And the metal actually helps to control the wood because metal chops wood, so it can actually, help to cut down some of that going wood chi to help to finalize some of these projects and figure out what seeds can be let go of, what seeds no longer serve your purpose at this time in your life, right? So we can get many ideas and create this willingness to let some things go and to recognize when that idea, it doesn't serve you, and when it's not going to actually ever happen, okay? So the metal pinwheel really helps with completion, especially with people who love to start new things and have trouble with completing them. So I'd say that is it for now. Oh, also I forgot to mention that for the bagua, the sun moon mirror, you can actually get nail polish and paint green around the edges of the sun moon mirror, because green represents the wood element. So that's, setting that intention to help with restoring balance to the wood chi person and help them to follow through and complete whatever projects that they are currently working on. So I'd love to hear from all of you. If you identify with the wood chi, do you feel like your wood chi is balanced, or do you find yourself in that category of just kind of getting easily distracted and starting a lot of new things, and then feeling kind of overwhelmed after a while, and then not doing anything? Right? So let me know in the comments below. Like this post or share it to somebody who might find it helpful or gain some insight about this quality. And as always, have a fantastic day.